All right, let's bring in Kayleigh McEnany, co-host of Outnumbered and a former White House press secretary. Oh, so we called it very early. You know, usually we have these internal deliberations. We may get a call in the 8 o'clock. Well, maybe we might call it at 8:45. Kayleigh, we called it before 8:30. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it took less than 30 minutes. That's how voting should happen. It also signifies the strength of President Donald J. Trump. I mean, all of these polls, the Real Clear Politics average had him way above 50%, but the media has set this bar of 50%. And it's an interesting bar, but let's be clear. If Donald J. Trump beats his nearest opponent by more than 12.8%, he makes history as the biggest vote lead margin of any Republican candidate to run in the state. Does that happen? If it does, he makes history. And what's interesting, you know, our Fox News voter analysis said the top issue for voters, top issue was immigration. And it brought me right back, Jesse, to 2016, when you had Donald Trump, the businessman, saying, build that wall, making the southern border an issue. And he went on to not just be the highest vote getter of any Republican nominee in history, but also the president of the United States. So really hearkening back to where we were in 2016.
So, Kayleigh, you're saying if Donald Trump doubles the last biggest margin, which was 12, say he beats these people by 24 percentage points, the media will still spin that as a loss if it's not above the 50% threshold. That's pretty crafty.
No doubt.
It's pretty crafty. We have the immigration exit poll analysis, but also voters overwhelmingly want major change or major upheaval in the federal government. How do you interpret that?
They want a change maker, and that's what Donald Trump won on last time, draining the swamp, building the wall, taking on these issues. And you pointed this out at the top of your show. Trump's winning among new caucus goers. These are new people, Jesse, coming into the fold. These are people who haven't voted before, who are showing up and saying, I want Donald J. Trump. So that's happening. That's a big deal. And one other point I would make, who gets number 2 is very important, because Ron DeSantis currently only 2% in. But if Ron DeSantis gets second place, it ensures he goes to New Hampshire. It ensures he goes to South Carolina, which in many ways is the best thing that could ever happen to Nikki Haley. If DeSantis were to exit the race, those votes go to Trump. They don't go to Nikki Haley. So in some ways, a second place finish for DeSantis helps Nikki Haley. That
is interesting. Also interesting, you have the same day this ABC News poll comes out. Joe Biden's approval rating is at 33%, Kayleigh. And women who had been supportive of the president are now completely dumping him. His base has been completely disintegrated, and Donald Trump is now about to post up, it looks like, a historic victory in an Iowa caucus. How do you frame those two things?
You picked up on a big point there, Jesse. Women, 57% of women, 57% voted for Joe Biden in 2020. So a vast majority. But in today, that ABC poll you referenced, 28% approval among women. And I would maintain this is the hardest group for Donald Trump to win back. He's gaining with Latinos. He's gaining with black voters. But that suburban woman is who you have to move. She seems immovable. She's dissatisfied with Joe Biden. And this is where the VP pick for President Trump, assuming he's the nominee, is so important. It has to be someone who adds to his voting bloc. It has to be someone that pushes those suburban women who seem immovable. But they can be moved, as you point out, according to that ABC poll, with their approval of Joe Biden.
Yeah, he seemed to indicate to Brett and Martha at the town hall that he already had chosen the vice president. So, well, yeah. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. You never really know. Thank you so much, Kayleigh.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.